What's up, everybody? This is Zach coming to you from My Freedom Smokes. Here today to talk to you about what an RDA really is and how to choose one that you feel would be right for you if you choose to get into the rebuilding side of vaping. So what an RDA is, RDA stands for Rebuildable Dripping Atomizer. And a rebuildable dripping atomizer is normally just a deck that has posts, positive and negative posts, that you can build coils on. Normally, well, most of the time, there are post holes that you can run your wires through, screw it down so it makes a connection and the current flows smoothly. Some have post holes, some have decks where you actually just wrap your coil, the lead of your coil around a screw and then screw it down because it's still making a connection. Those are more advanced atomizers, I would say, atomizers that are like that. So yeah, we'll get into the side of choosing one that you feel is right for you, which really boils down to two categories. Are you trying to cloud chase, or are you looking for something that's more for flavor? Then there are atomizers that are good for both cloud chasing and flavor. Most atomizers that come out today lean more towards that, but as many of you may know, there are cloud comps and stuff like that, so there are flavorless cloud blowing atomizers out there, which is fine. Some people like it. Some people are into vaping just to blow clouds. Some people are in it to get good flavor out of really good juice. A flavor atomizer mostly consists of top airflow or bottom airflow or very restricted airflow, which that helps the vapor become very dense and fill up the inside of the atomizer, and the denser the vapor, the more flavor you're gonna get out of it essentially. And then cloud chasing normally has wide open airflow, like the Mutation X, the Archon, stuff like that. Those come with a lot of airflow. Get more airflow in there, more vapor into your mouth and lungs, which means bigger clouds basically. So yeah, I got some atomizers here that we actually sell at My Freedom Smokes. I'll go over some with you. The Dynasty, which is a pretty cool atomizer. I enjoy it very much. This one I'd say is definitely good for flavor and clouds. You're not going to get amazing clouds out of it, but it's good for both. It has bottom airflow, and it also has side airflow. 2 Cyclops slits on each side, and then 3 holes coming in from the bottom. The bottom airflow is pretty cool because when you inhale, pulls air in from the bottom, which is going to hit the bottom of the coils and the bottom of your cotton, push air up into the top of the atomizer through the mouth hole, drip tip, whatever, and into your face. So yeah, that's the Dynasty one. And then we have here the Twisted Messes, which is a pretty cool atomizer. I'd say that this one is more of a cloud chasing atomizer, which is understandable because he definitely, Twisted Messes is known for his cloud chasing and also his pretty cool builds, which is another thing I'll get into here soon after I go over some of these atomizers. And then we have the Sapor, which is one of my favorites. This is a very, very good flavor atomizer. It has Cyclops slits on each side coming in from the top, which is pretty cool. That also, like I said, helps the vapor get very dense inside of the atomizer, inside of the chamber. Then we got the Zorro, which is definitely a cloud chaser. No, sorry, not a cloud chaser, definitely flavor. The Aeolus V2, which is by far one of my top favorite atomizers of all time. The Aeolus V1 and V2, definitely flavor atomizers. You're not going to get a lot of clouds out of those. You can still build pretty low on them, stuff like that, but that's definitely for flavor. Also, another thing for flavor that's pretty good is hot builds. I like hot builds. I feel like it brings the flavor out a little bit more for me, but really hot and cold builds are personal preference. Normally hot builds are also used in cloud chasing atomizers because that ramp up time is normally not as much in a lower ohm build. Ramp up time means quicker clouds, basically. We have the Freak Show Minis, which is definitely flavor. Then we have the full-size Freak Shows, which is one of the first bottom airflow atomizers that I ever used. I enjoyed the Freak Show a lot when it came out. Enjoyed the Freak Show Mini when it came out. I still enjoy both. And then you have your unique flavor atomizers, like the Teapot, which is pretty cool. I enjoy the Teapot even though it's pretty gimmicky, it's pretty silly using it out in public. This is more of an atomizer that I leave at home, use at home when I'm sitting down, hanging out at night, just relaxing. because like I said, it's great for flavor, which looking at it, you wouldn't think much of it. You would be like, oh, that's pretty silly, but this thing is pretty good for flavor, as you probably have seen in our review video of it that my friend Dustin did. My friend and your friend. All right, so I'm gonna go into some of the build decks that are in different atomizers. Whenever a company comes out with an atomizer, there's so many atomizers out there that they try to give their RDA a unique look, a unique build deck, maybe deeper juice wells, different decks. There's many decks out there that I've seen. Like I said, there are some with posts that have post holes. There's some where you have to wrap your leads around a screw and then tighten it down. And there are also there's also RDAs that I would consider entry level, and then I would consider, like, there's some RDAs out there that are medium with their build decks, and then there's some that are for experts that might intimidate, I guess you could say, some people out there that enjoy building. I know that I've seen some build decks that I wouldn't even know what to do with, and I've been building for about 2 years now. I got the teapot right here. This is a pretty entry-level build deck, I guess you could say. It's just got your simple 3 posts, positive and negative. Then it just has 1 post hole on each post, this is similar to the build deck that I started on. First time I ever built was on a Tobe. I still love that thing, great atomizer. But yeah, so here you got pretty much 1 or 2 options on what you can build. I mean, there's plenty of options on what kind of coils you can build. But for a build deck like this, some people would use a single coil, which would just be 1 coil on one side, or a dual coil, which would be a coil on each side. So yeah, this is a pretty easy entry-level build deck, as you can see. 3 posts, which is pretty similar on just about most atomizers, and then a post hole on each post. For how you would do that, well, if you're gonna build a dual coil, you put a lead into this, lead into the middle, tighten it down, lead into this one, and then another lead into the middle, so you'll have 2 leads in the middle. Some posts have very wide post holes, some have very small post holes. That's just going to limit what gauge you can use on your build deck, and also what kind of build you can do. So yeah, pretty much every company that comes out with an atomizer, since there's hundreds and hundreds out there, they try to make each one unique in the way that it looks, in the way that it works, and then the most that I've seen companies try to do is make their build decks unique, which there are quite a lot out there, and I'm going to show you some more. Let's see what I'm going to do next. That one's similar. Well, it'd be good to show. Okay, and here I'm going to show you the Twisted Messes, which the build deck is similar to the Dynasty. It's just that the middle block isn't the middle block is lowered. As you can see, the posts are all equal. The posts are all in the same place, basically. They're all equal, so you wouldn't have a problem with trying to raise your coil or center it or anything like that. And as you can also see, like I was saying, post holes are always different sizes. Well, not always, but most post holes are going to be different sizes on atomizers, depending on if it's a cloud chasing or if it's a flavor atomizer. This, as you can see, has massive post holes. I believe these are around a 3mm post hole. So you wouldn't have any problem fitting any gauge that you want in there. Lowest gauge that I recommend using is, 20 gauge. Some people use 18 even. I've seen some builds that even have 16 gauge, which is basically a coat hanger. Insane. But yeah, that's the great thing about atomizers that have large post holes, is that you have a million different things that you can do with it, and different gauges that you can throw in there, different builds. Yeah, I just wanted to show you this one because it is similar to the Dynasty style deck, but they've got their own little twist on it, which is just something to prove that companies are out there doing things different all the time on these atomizers, because they don't want to give you guys the same product, but they want to keep pushing the product out. Okay, and I'll show you the Sopor, which is another one that I said is more of a flavor atomizer. If I can get this thing off. Like I said, similar to the Twisted Messes and Dynasty, just lower to the deck, and you actually are using Allen screws. And the Dynasty had Allen screws, and it also had Phillips head, which is another thing that companies do. They might have 2 posts in there that are Allen screws. They might all be Allen screws. They might have all Phillips head. Really doesn't matter. But even if most atomizers come with a bunch of different stuff that you can use in it. They give you a little small screwdriver or a little small Allen key. So yeah, that's the Sopor. All right, so once again, this was the video on how to choose an RDA for you and the difference between some RDAs, and just a couple different build decks that we showed you. It all really boils down to personal preference, whether you're cloud chasing or flavor, you want a good mix between both. There's a million different atomizers out there. There's a million different ways to build them. There's a million different gauges of wire, different types of wire. It all, like I said, boils down to personal preference. But finding that RDA for you is really just choosing between, maybe I want a cloud chase today, or maybe I'm not in the mood. Maybe I just want some good flavor. But yeah, if there's any questions that you may have that I did not answer in this video, which I believe I may have covered just about everything, or I tried to, there's a million different people to ask. There's a million different videos out there. I mean, hell, just give us a call here at My Freedom Smokes and we are more than happy to answer your questions for that. So yeah, once again, I'm Zach coming to you from My Freedom Smokes. I hope all you beautiful people have a great day.